getting an A in Canada is getting about 80%. And what was yours? What'd you say?
A- to A+ is 90 to 100.
To your standards, I didn't do nearly as well in school as I thought. That's crazy. What is happening? Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the vlog. I am Joseph, the Canadian.
And I'm Jason, the American.
Today we are comparing American versus Canadian schools and who is smart. Is learning harder in the US or Canada?
I mean, learning 50 states versus 10 provinces, there's no comparison. Come on.
I will give you that. But we got 3 territories as well, don't forget.
What the heck?
Well, as part of this, we ask you to submit to be in our American versus Canadian trivia battle.
Ooh, battle.
I know, I made that up.
I like it.
All right.
It's more epic.
Now, due to popular demand, the trivia battle will be in tomorrow's video. Yes, tomorrow. But if it's already tomorrow and you're watching this, click here or in the link below. Or wait until the end and then watch it. But don't worry, we've asked all our contestants to be here today with us. Hi, everybody. So that they can chime in on some of the topics we're talking about today. Give us some more perspective. It's like the comment section in our videos, but live, right to our faces. This is a good idea. Probably not. We'll also be joined by a very special guest.
Who?
A true Canadian, viral sensation, Brittle Star.
Thank you. Everyone calm down.
So now, we are narrowing it down to 3 main things to compare when it comes to schools.
Which is?
Types of schools is category number 1. What are the types of schools available in each country?
Category number 2, education level. What kind of level of grades you get, SATs.
And also international education rankings. See where we all land here.
What's the last one?
Final category is school culture.
This is the category that interests me the most.
So, this is what we're gonna do. Each category will be worth 1 point. At the end of each category, we'll decide who gets that point.
What if there's a conflict of interest?
Flip a coin, I don't know.
I'll flip a penny.
No, we'll just have to agree.
I don't agree to that.
Anyways, here's the kicker. The team that wins the trivia will receive 2 points for their country. That changes the game.
There's so much weight on such an unofficial, just for fun trivia challenge.
Yeah, we don't mess around here. Yes, we do.
We picked the best trivia questions. We didn't pick any good ones.
Everyone's gonna really love the questions we picked. No, they're not.
They're gonna hate them. We're gonna get all the best comments. They're gonna be the worst.
Oh, by the way, whoever wins gets to put on their glasses.
Oh.
Anyways, with that, let's get to our first category, shall we?
And the first category is types of schools.
You have elementary schools?
Yes,
You call them elementary schools?
we do.
What are the grades?
K through 8, kindergarten through 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
So this is a little bit confusing because it also depends on the school that you go to. When I went to school, I went to a private school. Ooh, la-di-da, Mr. Private School Man.
That's another thing, that's the type of schools. The private schools are much more common in the United States. I went to St. Elizabeth Seton Catholic elementary school, and then I went to St. Mary's Catholic High School.
Wait, so those were private?
No, they're just public schools. Catholic system here is public as well.
It's the opposite for us. The Catholic is private here. Because I went to St. Christopher's school, and that was private school. It's a paid school. It's not a public element.
Really? What?
First big difference there, huh?
Wow. Is that better or
Wow.
worse? Past that. First of all, you say it backwards. It's grade 8. You say 8th grade.
Yeah, 8th grade.
We call it grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12.
Nope. We call it freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
That's so weird. I've heard those terms so much, and I never knew what they meant, really. Put up your hand if you called it freshman, sophomore, junior, senior years.
Not us.
Just wanted to confirm.
I don't even know
Depends
what
if you're an
that
athlete.
100% American.
I only knew what that was because of movies.
That's right. See? Jason, where's Jason? You hearing this?
Yeah, I hear it.
movies and
Is that-
TV.
Yeah, movies and TV.
Jason, this is like 100 of me coming at you.
Yeah, I feel like I enjoyed freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I liked saying that, so I'm still gonna stand my ground on this one. I think it's
Yeah, to me, that's freshman. What if you're a girl?
Yeah, I mean,
The terms are old. The fresh
they
person.
gotta change. Fresh person. There you go.
When I say here junior, I think, okay, I guess you're in grade 9. It's your junior year.
Nope. You're a junior to the senior. So if you're a senior, you're at the highest level.
Grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. It clears it all up. See, this is where it gets confusing because this terminology also goes to university and college, right? Your first, second, third, and fourth years are called also freshman, sophomore.
Depends on what you're doing. For a standard bachelor's degree, you do 4 years.
You're right.
Associates, you do 2. Do you have those things?
I don't know about associates. So this is where it becomes different, where our colleges and universities are actually different. Where I think yours, there's a weird thing that they're basically the same.
Did a little research on this too. The reason it's a college is both scale and type of program that the college offers.
But I also saw research that said colleges also offer bachelor degrees.
Typically what you'll find is a university is a bigger school with a lot more students, whereas a college is much more of a, not always, but there's less student body. They have more of a focus on what bachelor or master degree that they offer.
I think the only difference is funding.
If you hear the word university, you think public school. If you hear college, private.
So here in Canada, I'm generalizing here, college is more for trades and you get a diploma. Where universities, you get a bachelor's degree.
For the most part now, I think colleges are more training for skills versus like specialties like sciences or engineering or something like that.
Thus, university is actually more expensive.
That's interesting. So ours is kind of flip-flopped. From my experience, college is more expensive than university because university, where I come from the SUNY system, is
SUNY?
paid for by the state, State University of New York.
Oh.
If you live in that area, it's cheaper than going to a college away from
This was our next thing, is
home.
in-state versus out-of-state. What is that? That's what that means?
You get better financing options if you go to a school in-state, a state-funded university.
Otherwise, the others are private?
Canisius College, the one I went to, is private and it's super expensive, just like every other privately funded college.
I just want to double check that in province and out of province, if that is a thing. Is there such a thing as in province and out of province schools where it's cheaper to go to school in your home province?
In Quebec.
In Nova Scotia, it is.
Quebec's subsidized heavily.
Not in Ontario, I don't think.
Okay, well, that's the end of this category. Who are we giving this to? This is tough. My system seems to be a lot less confusing.
Why is it less confusing? Just because you got numbers? That's not fun. But if you're giving yourself something like, next year I am going to be a freshman, which is a completely different thing than just going from 8th grade to 9th grade. This is just my feeling. I have to go with the United States on this one.
Because I'm kind of on the fence, you're gonna push me towards it. Personally though, it seems a little simpler in Canada to understand the whole thing.
But if you grow up into it,
Okay.
it's not something that I was ever confused about.
Well, guess what? You get 1 point. You get the first 1-0. I just want to take a sidestep and say that we have just begun a Patreon page where we're going to put a bunch of extra stuff on there to connect more to you. It'll help make this a little more sustainable for us. There'll be behind the scenes stuff, extra deleted scenes. Like in the last episode, there's a lot of shows I showed you from Canadian TV that we didn't even put into the episode because it would have been 3 hours long.
Right.
So stuff like that. We might do some live streams on there. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to having you and seeing you there.
Me?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you even haven't seen that you'd have to sign up.
Well, where do you sign up?
I'm glad you asked. There's a link in the description to our Patreon.
You told me to ask.
Shut up! Okay, let's get back to it, to our next category.
Education level.
Number 1, getting an A in Canada is getting about 80%. But is it an A in the USA higher percentage?
It's higher. If we're doing the whole scope of A, it's 90 to 100.
It looks like an A minus is 80% to 84%.
Whoa.
An A plus is 90 to 100.
Your pluses and minuses scope like a
Yeah.
lot wider.
What was yours? What'd you say?
A minus to A plus
Is a 90 to
is
100.
90 to 100.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I always thought like pluses and minuses were just like teachers giving you extra
Yeah,
flair.
just be like, meh.
I like this kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a plus.
Yeah, he wrote his name a little messy, minus. By that, if I get an A in Canada, but you get an A in the United States, you are smarter, technically.
Yeah.
To your standards, I didn't do nearly as well in school as I thought.
It's true.
That's crazy, what is happening?
Well, okay, so then what's B?
A B plus is 76 to 80%.
Our B is 80 to 89.
Your standards are so much higher in the United States. If this is all accurate,
It's from the internet, so it's gotta be.
it's gotta be right.
It's gotta be accurate.
Wow, this is crazy. Hey, here's the other thing I found out was that the United States has a federal Department of Education, and that governs education across the whole country, where Canada doesn't have a federal level of education, anything.
You don't have standardized testing or anything like that?
Each province has their standards.
So you treat provinces like they're almost their own country in a sense. Like
yeah.
you govern.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Provincial.
Not nationwide. We don't have SATs.
What are the SATs? I've heard that so much in culture, in movie references, and you gotta take the SATs. Like, what is that?
Scholastic Assessment Test. In high school, if you're looking to move on to post-secondary or college, you have to take an SAT. That's a standardized test across the board. You take it in your junior year, right before senior year.
That's grade 11. Did you take the SATs?
I did not.
I was supposed to, but I did not. You were more science and mathy. You would take the ACT. Most people did take the SAT for sure.
Okay.
It's a massive test. Overwhelming to most people.
How'd you do?
I didn't do great. I'm not a good test taker.
So you have to take it in order to get into any of those.
I don't know of any college or university that doesn't look at SATs.
Wow.
As far as acceptance goes.
That's
I
not
would,
true.
I would argue that
Not
the
here.
Yeah.
Not in Canada.
Canadian would have to take the SATs to go to university or college in the States.
This is great. It's just instant feedback. You don't have to write a comment anymore. You just right here. You do it to us. Now, however, I know each province does have a standardized test. In Ontario, it's the EQAO, but I don't necessarily think it's so heavily weighted as much as the SATs are heavily weighted. It's more to like see where they're at and like help them get to at this standard, as opposed to it being like, if you're not at this standard, you're screwed.
I don't know how much they do now, but back then it felt like they weighted heavily on SATs more than your actual GPA.
So provinces decide their own curriculums, but in the US, there's something called the Common Core system, which is federally mandated. What is that?
I don't think it existed when I was there, but it was something that recently has been driving me nuts. So the Common Core is like this new math for the people that didn't understand math the way it was being taught, offering many different ways to get to the answer, whereas where you would add 15 plus 7, what would you do?
I'd get out my calculator. What do you mean?
Oh, you got to break up the numbers, right? You need to break that 15 into 10 blocks, and then you take the rest of that, which is 5. And so you got these blocks, and then
That's interesting. We got a guest.
she takes Common Core math.
Boo. Oh, this is very interesting. Literally just got this. In Ontario, the province is introducing to the math curriculum in elementary schools financial literacy, taught in all grades, and it's how to manage personal finances and budgeting. That is like everything I've always wanted, is like a real life class. I learned nothing about that in school. I learned a lot of math, but not sure how I apply it to real life situations. This is gonna change that, I hope, for all the kids and my kid. And then they can in turn teach me when I'm 70 and in heavy debt. Also, they're gonna start teaching coding in grade 1. That is interesting. How do you become a teacher in the United States?
You go to school and you get a teaching degree.
See, that's not how it works in Canada. You do your normal 4 years, you get your degree, and then you do another year or 2 called Teachers College, and then you get your teaching degree. And I believe what happens in the United States, you got to tell me, but you major in education.
Yeah, that's if you get a bachelor's in education.
Like, did your wife, who is a teacher, she did that?
She went to a SUNY school, Geneseo, and she took their education program. She did 4 years of bachelor's, and then she got her master's in 1 year.
Wow. So essentially that's what happens, except throughout those first 4 years, you're not learning to be a teacher, and then you cram learning to be a teacher in 1 or 2 years. I forget how long it is.
You can't bypass the 4 years. You have to do the 4 years, and then you do the 2-year education
Correct.
program?
Yeah, you have to do a degree.
In what?
Anything. Final thing I wanted to say in this is that there's something called the International Literacy, Math, and Science Test. Short is PISA, and they rank education of all the countries worldwide. Where do you think the United States ranks?
I don't think the United States ranks very good on any of those lists.
2018 PISA, USA is in 25th place for education.
Ugh.
Canada is ranked 8th.
We need to be better.
When I saw that, I was blown away. Okay, who has the points for this round?
You do.
Thank you.
Right? If it's
Okay.
based on the number and percentage.
Although we're ranked higher, but we could look a lot smarter by just getting an A.
Are you ranked higher because of the fact that your A is so much lower?
Yeah.
Look at how many A's Canada has.
Right.
Because they
B+.
start at 80 and they work their way up to 100. It's brilliant.
I love the cameos here. This makes it way more exciting. Oh my gosh. So what is that? That makes it 1-1.
1-1. Yes.
What is it?
It's a margarita.
Well, nothing for me.
What a day. If you don't mind, I'll just
Please.
drink as we go.
Let me take this time to ask you to, if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and share this with your friends. It's very exciting, very exciting. All right, now to our final category.
My favorite of the bunch.
School culture.
Culture.
I know a lot about U.S. school culture just from movies and TV. Well, I should say I don't know it. I've
think you
seen
know
it
because of TV.
I don't understand it all, but I want you to tell me. So
What do you need to know?
a lot of what I learned about U.S. schools came from the movie Old School, and fraternities and all that.
It's not like that.
Like, no, I mean the system of it. The system, there's a fraternity, the schools, this is how it works. Not the fact that it's like crazy.
Growing up, my barometer was Animal House.
I've never seen it. I should see it.
Oh
Yes,
my God.
I know.
This fraternity that fights with this fraternity, and they always
see.
battle. And
There's no movies about Canadian schools in that manner.
fraternities.
You were in a fraternity?
I did pledge a fraternity in my freshman year.
How do you get into a fraternity?
You have to pledge. That could mean any number of things. They tell you things to do. You have to meet a certain amount of requirements, or they ask you to do community service hours. You have to go out and do certain things. You have to earn money for the fraternity.
Really?
You get hazed, so to speak. I think it's definitely tamed itself over the years. My hazing was actually pretty interesting.
Oh.
And so it was like your initiation. It's the end of the pledge process, and I'm in my dorm room, and middle of the night, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I just hear boom, 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 pounding on the door. I open it up, and sure enough, it's one of my potential brothers from the fraternity saying, "Get up. Let's go. Grab your pillow." And I grabbed my pillow, and he said, "Take the pillow out." I took the pillow out, and he said, "Put the pillowcase over your head." So I put the pillowcase over my head, and they dragged me out of the dorm room and into a car. I didn't know where I was going at that point. And they start driving around, swerving left and right, and then they get out, and they push me out the door, and they say, "All right, good luck. find your way home. And then so I take the thing off and we're at a Denny's parking lot and they're all inside Denny's and they're just waiting for us to notice that we're gonna eat Denny's at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God. That's so, it is like the movies.
Yeah, it was so great. I was like, this is fun. Like I was having a good time. I didn't ever think I was in danger.
Did you have some eggs or what?
Yeah, I had the Grand Slam, of course.
Oh, delicious. I wish I were Hayes. Hayes with eggs? Are you kidding? That's fantastic. I don't think there's like that culture here as much.
What is your culture like? Do you even have a culture? Or is it just you learn and you go home?
Yeah, it depends what school. Like for me, I went downtown and I went home after. So I didn't live on the campus and I might be different than 3/4 of the people. I believe that there are a lot more school options for post-secondary in the United States too. So more means more culture, more opportunities.
Yeah. So are we gonna give a point?
Yeah.
Because I know where I'm gonna go.
I think I'm gonna go with where you're gonna go.
Yeah, US.
Okay, finally. So that's 2-1 now?
2-1.
No, but I still have a chance, right?
Yeah.
My Canadian trivia team needs to win so that they can get 2 points.
It would either be a blowout or a very close Canadian victory.
It's just like Family Feud, where the rounds mean nothing except for the final round where you can actually win.
Either team can win at this point, which is pretty crazy.
It's still up for grabs, but you could really win. Whoever wins this wins the game and ultimately is crowned the smartest. You can watch the trivia right back here tomorrow, or if it's already tomorrow, click here or in the link below and find out who wins and which country is smarter.
This is a big deal. Like, I don't think they fully understand what they're getting into here. For the love of God, we need to get out of the 25th percentile. I'm sure after the United States wins this game, the PISA ranking will go up.
That's right, and we got our celebrity guest.
Can I just say though that I am really glad that it's not just you and me trying to tell people what our differences are, and we've actually involved people who know what they're talking about in some way, shape, or form.
Because we can't take any more feedback.
You guys are idiots. We know we're idiots. Take it easy on me. I come from a country that's ranked 25th in education.
And before we go, I just wanted to say something a little more serious. You know, when we're doing these, it's really to find out more about each other and learn and understand each other more so we can coexist even better and become closer friends. So I think, I think this is the type of mentality that we should all take to what's happening right now, and what's always been happening is racism. And I know I perfectly begun to do a better job at learning more about this, being open, being honest with myself about the privilege I have as somebody who's white, and calling that out and starting to call it out to other people who don't recognize it. Try to understand their side of it like I try to do with you.
No, that's exactly right. That's, you know, you and I are doing for our countries what we need to be doing for our races, right? We need to be bringing each other together and learning about each other. And, you know, my kids, they ask about it, and I at first was like, I don't know if you're ready. They're ready. Talk to your kids about it. I'm educating myself while I'm educating them.
Exactly, yeah.
And so we watch things, we read things, and we talk about it. They're gonna grow up knowing that you need to be inclusive, you need to be equal, and we need to figure out how to make that work.
We put some links below to Black organizations in both the United States and Canada that you can follow and or support. And the way I've done it is begun to be in the community, as I call it, of anti-racism. You know, I've started to see posts from them now that I follow them, and you're just now in that mindset. You're more likely to act on it and be more educated on it to then talk to others and change other people for the better.
Yeah. No, I mean, two white guys trying to tell people.
Right, and this is what it's been said. It is our problem to fix, really.
Right. It's all about education, right? You got to learn. You
got to learn.
Which is what we're doing here today.
This is it. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you like this video. If you like it, you can hit like down below. If you liked it, you can subscribe. And we'd love it if you watch more of our videos. There's some here for you. And please check out those links below to the Black organizations. So thank you so much. Until next time.